It's Pantera beanie. I've worn this thing in I don't know how many reviews now. I'm always wearing this hat. Fucking winter, summer, I don't care. I'm that douchebag.
Yeah, I guess, whatever. It's 96 degrees out. You better put on the old wool cap. Yeah.
Pantera is, not was, the definition of metal to me. Ignoring their short stint in glam metal, which the band never tried to hide, and of which I have no problems with, it's just not the topic of this video, they held the reins in the 90s for the most brutal, riff-heavy groove metal band around, iconic by all measures. Dime's legendary slew of headbanging riffs, coupled with his leads full of squill-heavy pitch harmonic whammy bar dives, often pushed even further with a Digitech whammy pedal, there was nothing like it before and nothing like it since, in my opinion. You always hear that it's in someone's hands, the real sound, and with Dime that is so true, because even with a damn near identical amp, guitar, pedal board, string, and whatever he used mimicky setup, no one can recreate the sound his fingers did. Sitting behind the drums is a Sherman tank, otherwise known as Vinnie Paul, providing that thunderous assault on your ears.
Wells, Austria, what's left of them? Boom! Clean it up, got 2 more in a row after this. You alright?
Maybe it's because he was Dime's brother, and from a very early age, the two were playing music together. He always provided such a perfect balance to what the song needed. Now, I'm of the opinion that almost any drummer can play some drums to any song, but a real drummer knows what the song needs from the drums. Vinnie and Dime were like heavy metal vertebra, interlocking with one another. Instead of always viciously blast beating our ears to death, if Dime was chugging along one of his fast and hellacious riffs, Vinnie might kick back and ride the crash cymbal while giving us a slow, deep, simple, yet heavy as fuck kick and snare combo. Allowing Dime to own the moment, so to speak. And often when Dime would throw down a slow grooving riff, Vinnie would go to town. There aren't hard and fast rules by any means, and of course there's times where everyone's going nuts, but it really drives home my point that they both knew what to play and when to make the song itself as memorable, unique, and flavorful as possible. That's the real fucking magic. Not to discount Rex and Phil either. Now, certainly not the only case of siblings in famous bands. Dime and Vinnie, though, exemplified what that kind of relationship could really mean to not just a band, but an entire genre. And as the 2000s started, Pantera was the last real metal band clinging on in a shifting environment, and forgive the broad statement because it's tough to nail down the exact time periods of musical paradigms, shifts in the culture, and all that, but with nu metal on the rise during the 2000s onward, and the eventual takeover of the music scene by EDM, metal was kind of dying, at least in the mainstream. And I do realize the irony of saying all this too, since not even a year into the new millennium, that is 2001, the band had already went on hiatus, and by 2003 had officially disbanded. This in itself is a whole thing, which some of you might know, and I'm not going to get into that in this video either, because none of that matters to me and many others. We just wanted to see the band reunite regardless of who was at fault in the breakup. And the thing is, we had no reason to think they wouldn't eventually reunite. God damn were we wrong. Now, it's not like my Pantera phase ever ended though, and throwing on a live show in the background is seriously a weekly event in this house, and inevitably, I always find myself picking up my guitar and playing along. Tuning is a whole issue I'm not getting into either, since some albums are in standard, but slightly below standard actually. Some are down-tuned 1.5 steps, and then dropped slightly. Hell, even the tab books couldn't really tell you, so it was more of an ear thing and something that made Pantera's music ever so slightly more unique than it already was. Today I thought I'd share a few of my favorite riffs with you from a lower tuning, and instead of separating them and playing along with the tracks, I thought I'd just string together a medley and see if I could pull it off, leaving any mistakes in there, cause fuck it. Hope you enjoy.